My name is Dale Wilhite. I live at the France Climber in Mountain Village, Colorado. If you want to find anything about me, you can go to MySpace when I have a page. This is about women going to school, college, or technical college, or learning just a job skill of some kind. Sometimes it might be she can learn a skill on the job. It's my belief that by law, even though you can't, mandate it necessarily for every person, but it's humanly possible, that every woman in America, and if I had my way, be in the world, should be educated. That means able to go to college, or a technical college, or learn a job skill. And the reason why is simply this: we live in a world that's been like this pretty much for 6,000 years, where women still get the brunt of all the domestic violence. And a lot of the domestic violence over these last 6,000 years since Adam and Eve were kicked out of the Garden of Eden is due to the fact that a lot of women, especially with children, are in a financial situation that makes them dependent on their husband altogether, or solely. They can't escape the world they're in. They can't escape their husband anymore because they got kids. If they try to leave, where are they going to get the financial means to support themselves? And thus, there are some men, unfortunately, who look for women like that. They don't want their wives or girlfriends to work, and the reason is because they can hold them basically hostage, which to me is a crime. It's my belief that if, at least here in America, and hopefully throughout the world, that if every woman was required, grown up teenagers, was required to go to college, given the help to go to college, or be required to learn a job skill, maybe through a technical college or through an employer, then we might be able to fight against some of the domestic violence we have in this country, because then it's going to be harder for some men to hold their wives, and unfortunately we live in a world where it's just girlfriends now, where people just don't get married anymore, I guess, hostage. And the reason is, as I've said before, is because his wife or girlfriend doesn't have the job skills to go out and find a job if she leaves him, or she doesn't have the financial means to leave him. And in my opinion, when this recession one day ends and when we have the money again, the government, actually the states, would be better at this, to provide money so women and even some men who are in an abusive relationship can escape. And the state government should talk to employers about employing women so they can escape this kind of abuse and not be held hostage. You see what I'm saying? What I'm trying to say is that, and I've seen a lot of domestic violence in my life. I've seen a lot of violence in my life. What I'm trying to say is, it's like this: if a man and woman get married, the lady's husband becomes abusive. She has no education. She has no financial means to leave. She may spend the rest of her life being abused, and so may her children, and some of them may be sexually abused. But if this lady had a job skill, or the government had a program where she can go to the government, where the government would give her like an affirmative action program that would provide her the means to find a job, or to get a job, and help her escape this abusive relationship, and even that includes their children if she has them, we could really put a big dent in a lot of domestic violence. But what I'm also trying to say is that I think it's the lack of education, the lack of a job skill, is what creates a lot of domestic violence. Because again, there are just some men in this world who want that kind of situation. They like it that their wives can't leave them. They like it their wives can't work. They like it that their wives can't leave. No matter what they do, they can smack them around, beat them around, whatever they want to do, and they can't escape. They got no way to escape. And this is a worldwide phenomenon. If we would go at it from this directive, from what I'm saying here, and I know I'm not a good speaker, but I'm just doing the best I can, we could really cut down on a lot of domestic violence. And I'm sure anybody watching this video has seen a lot of domestic violence, or at least some in their lifetime. I've seen a lot. And it's ugly, and it's mean, and it's evil. that's just something I hope will come about one day. One day, if I can ever get the ear of a good politician somewhere, I get the ears of a few of them, but not enough to make these things even be considered. But you can pitch this, do it. You probably do a better job at it than I can, and make it a reality. Pitch it on to the letter of editor, pitch it on the internet, make it a topic, and get that message to your congressional representative. And maybe one day we can really attack domestic violence here in America. The fact of the matter is that the only way that a lot of women can escape an abusive relationship is if they have a job skill, if they have a way to leave, have the money to make it just for a short time, and have the means to be employed. That will require an affirmative action program for women, abused women, more or less. See where I'm coming from? I can't go over 10 minutes on this tape. So I hope you like this idea. I hope I was able to say it clear enough for you to understand where I'm coming from. You know, being a man does not mean that you have the right to be abusive. God does not condone men who abuse their wives, girlfriends, or anybody for that matter. That's not being a man. That's just being a jerk or a coward. You know, that's like some big guy jumping on me. I'm not that big of a person. That wouldn't be a fair fight. I could be a black belt, still wouldn't matter. It's not a fair fight. And you don't pick on people just because you're a little bit stronger than they are. That proves absolutely nothing. Just makes you a stupid coward. And that's, you know, kind of like the terrorists out there who blow people up while they're hiding out in a cave somewhere. It's not. There's nothing manly about it. So fighting domestic violence is something that both men and women should be doing. And this is one way it can be done. Thank you for your time.